Morning! Last time I got a bit distracted by things that happened. So, yeah. Had to go help the fiancé carry stuff in, so kind of ended up getting interrupted on this one. Hey, well. Turns out, several flights of stairs, not so good when carrying things. Another downside of apartment living, I suppose. Plus, I don't have to take care of the landscaping, so that's nice. Although it would be nice to have a lawn to mow at some point. Anywho, same old thing with this lady here. She's all fast and has a handgun. So I can't really get particularly close because of that pistol. It'll just stun because I have a light frame. So even with the stagger avoidance optional, I'm only getting staggered a little bit by it, but it'll still be enough to pretty much ruin any attempts at charging in. But it only has 100 shots, so no big deal there. And then there's her missiles, which she'll pretty much never run out of, so I don't really intend to make that attempt happen. You just get 80 of them plus additions. I don't know what I call them additions, but the extensions, that's what I'm trying to say. So they're gonna last a good minute. But those are her main damage dealer. Overheat and her missiles are the main ones. Although I guess those kind of also factor into the overheat, because those things will burn you up like crazy. And from there she just has the little quick blade. Just kind of going for any jabs I can out from the back here. But yeah, she's not out yet. I was actually informed yesterday that there was a person I saw on the Discord page that was saying that they found some good practicality out of the cheapo blade. So I was gonna give that a quick shot later on. Although I guess that's a little bit paraphrasing. They didn't really say it was too practical. They said it was a fun challenge. Now, granted, I still think this one's going to wind up being better and looks cooler because it has 2 spikes, but you know what? I'm kind of curious to give it another shot. So that's what'll happen. I don't think I'm actually going to end up needing the mines on this one. So it looks like I can just 2-shot her with this. I don't know what I expected there. Now what I'd hoped for in that jump, I was hoping to get her head stuck in my foot so that I could basically land and get a jab in. Not quite the distance. I know, it is kind of weird to me though that so many things don't actually appear to affect parry blades. Like from the arm energy supply to things like the ammo extenders. Kind of makes me wonder if they realized that it was a problem halfway through and just kind of dumped it. Didn't bother to include it in the codes. I guess by a similar note, it makes me kind of wonder why howitzers were taken out in the later games. I thought it was a balancing thing. It was probably something to do with lockboxes. Like, since it kind of already locked, it probably would have pretty much rendered grenade launchers useless in the left hand. I don't know. There. That was a pretty okay stab, if I say so myself. Which I do, because nobody else is saying that, and not too many people watch these, so there's not many other people saying that. Okay. Let me give Senior Cheapy Stabby a try. Give another little look at the stats. Okay. Drains a little bit less, weighs about 60% of it. Half as much heat, slightly more range. Yeah. Alright, well, it just seems far less worth it, but let's give it a shot. Because now that I heard about a challenge, I have to use whichever one's worse. Oh, no, that still actually does... That's still alright. I want to say I was... I think I was trying it out on the B's and A's later. Maybe that's the problem. Because I don't think they'll get overheated from one stab of this. Could be wrong. Just gonna wait for him to blink away with a shotty. See if I can get him turned into some mines. Yeah, with this guy, he has a pretty dang quick turn radius. I think he actually has that turning optional part. And pretty much entirely comprised of spread weapons. So I'm not gonna really get close to him. He's got almost nothing at long range aside from that howitzer, and if he actually manages to get you with all 3 rockets. Otherwise, he'll usually run out of rockets and howitzer pretty quick. I'm really hoping that I was wrong about this Parry blade. That'd be nice. I don't know, it always kind of makes me glad whenever I overlook something, kind of evaluating anything in this game, and then go back and find it to be amazing. Like these mines, for example. I thought that they absolutely had no purpose whatsoever. And then I did that crossback run, and then just suddenly it became really clear as a surprise weapon. Like I was really looking forward to if I could get Last Raven working online and find anybody willing to play and get that whole thing set up. Like its purpose as kind of a surprise weapon like this. Like if somebody's close by and they think, okay, that guy's got missiles out, I'll just dodge around, and then suddenly you just clip them with your shoulder and they're sitting and overheating. Like I can imagine as kind of a surprise weapon like that, it would be pretty amazing. Actually, I pretty much immediately went on to Verdict Day, and went and I was putting together this kind of XCOM build, but I had a like a left-hand spread howitzer and the scatter mines. Oh, it worked wonders. This guy wasn't expecting it because okay, it was a Gatling gun on the right, like the infinite ammo one basically. Spread howitzer on the left, and then shoulders had the scatter mines. Which, to be fair, up to that point, I didn't even know they existed in VD. Like I don't know how I overlooked them, but I just plain didn't know they were there. So, so I go and set this thing up, and this guy was always dodging the howitzer pretty well. We started kind of expecting it to come. He was just kind of eating the machine gun, because everyone does, because why would you bother even dodging that thing? I'll say, you know what? None. I'm starting to think this is actually possibly better than the mid-blade now that I think about it. Okay, but he was constantly dodging the howitzer like a pro, and well, started just following that up with the scatter mines, because I just figured, okay, he's always dodging in one direction, I don't really have any follow-up other than these mines, so he would dodge one explosion and just dodge straight into another one. And it was wonderful. Yeah, you know what? That guy definitely had a point. I'm starting to think this blade might actually be better. In which case, I have to use the other one, don't I? Decisions. I think maybe I'll stick with this for the moment. But either way, it was fantastic, because I think he started wondering what was going on with, you know, why the howitzer would have been shooting so fast, and it wasn't. It's just if the timing was done right, you could basically do this little mix of like howitzer mines, and it would just be this constant like barrage of explosions. Just beautiful. Yeah, I don't know why I threw away those things either. The extensions, I mean. Upload of dirt. Right. Your offense it is. Alright. Glad I could druggy string like a bee. So yeah, I don't know if during my testing I was just constantly getting glancing blows with this thing or what then. Because this is doing a really good job of stabbing and overheating. Not to mention, I think it lowered the weight just enough to get a lot more mobility. I don't know where the actual levels are with all of that. I probably can be a little bit more free with these mines, but I think he just killed himself. Celebratory stab. Yeah, what's kind of interesting when I was saying the parry blade doesn't seem affected by a lot of crap. Even the up and down, it's actually unaffected. So I'm gonna go for a rock punch. Yeep. Bad timing. And I was gonna say I'm probably gonna need a grenade in the process. You know what might have been? I actually could have just been hitting with the far tip. I might not have been getting far enough. Might not have really been getting in there. Which of course is what she said. It's another story. No. Thought I had my blade out. Overall, I'd say this could be going better. Just gonna lame it out for a minute. So he doesn't have too much ammo. He's got a 150 in his arm. He's got, I believe it's 12 in the portable grenade launcher. And I think he's got a shield on his left arm. It's either a shield or the wave blade. Pretty certain anyway. It's kind of funny because the entirety of this run kind of goes entirely against how I usually like to play the game. It's just like this ongoing battle of attrition. I just get the most ammunition I can possibly stick on for arm, and then just stay at the farthest possible range and flank. So this is more of what I'm used to. Like the getting close and doing the stabs. Not really my usual way of doing it. Oh yeah, I forgot he had rockets. Oh, no, he's got... Wait a minute. Those have to be napalm rockets. Alright, is he done? He might be out of ammo now. was gonna say maybe left hand. Yeah, he's got the way to play by the looks of it. I was gonna say maybe he had left hand rockets, but I don't think those exist in this game yet. I'm gonna have to angle him, because if he launches the blade, I'm more or less screwed. So I'm gonna try to hit him around his right side here. If I can get the angle. Nope, nope, nope. Almost. Yeah, the timing feels the same with these blades. I don't think it takes any longer or shorter. Like, if this thing deployed shorter, I would just say hands down is better. I have to test that with the Mars now, actually. I will actually be picking up the Mars, even though I don't plan to use it for much, but it is pretty great for one-shot and bosses, so there's that. I don't think it's normally a one-shot, but I do remember getting a ton of momentum and nailing the open-end guy. And that was just wonderful. That also sounds wrong. But basically I just completely run out of AP. I didn't know how much damage I actually had done to him. And then just kind of overboosted and went for a stab with the Mars and got him on his second phase. It was pretty great. Because I was absolutely certain I was done. Alright. Come on now. There we go. So yeah, like right there, where it did very little damage, very little overheat, that is the kind of thing that I was getting pretty consistently when I was testing this. Now, I was testing it against that Firefly guy, and lower in the arena, it kind of hops around a lot. So I'm wondering if, due to his gigantic arms, I was actually just getting a lot of glancing hits. Because that wasn't doing as little damage as when I was getting glances with the mid-blade. Like, that one was doing 300s or whatnot and not even overheating. I still overheated him and pretty much took 600 off him as it were. I don't know. That's not what I meant to do. Had my finger over the button and was a little bit too trigger happy. I think he might be the last of the erratic moving ones. I hope he is. Like the ones that are really easy if you have a lock on, but then super difficult if you don't. Not even difficult, he's just annoying. Alright, straight enemy next. Really freaking like this dude. Probably stylistically my favorite build of the game. Because I just like how kind of balanced it is. It's just got something for every situation. Call it a Boy Scout build, I guess you could say. But he does backpedal a lot, so I'm not sure how much luck I'm going to have with the blade. Okay, his rifle does pretty steady damage, does a decent amount of overheat. His missiles are well, pretty high damage, high heat. And his rockets are nothing to worry about. He's got a lot of offense, he's got good defense, and he's pretty fast too. And on top of that, he's got kind of a crap ton of ammo. And if you don't have the little stagger thing, you like to have your lightweight build, this rifle will just completely wreck your day. And as before, I'm just going to wear him down. See if I can get a lucky overheat with these mines. Sometimes he will overboost and go straight into them, and that's usually what does it. I mean, for that purpose, these mines are pretty great in a normal context. I think I hit him with the entire salvo and it did nothing. So I guess odds of that are pretty down. It'll take some cooperation to get an overheat out of him. Oh yeah, and since he uses the efficiency boosters, he can also usually outlast you in terms of actually boosting fast. Like I said, I really like that build for that reason. It's pretty much built entirely for outlasting other things. Not to mention, you can actually have a head that doesn't have a biosensor because of the rockets. Which is why I typically always have rockets in Blade, because then I can go back and still use it for missions and stuff, and then I'll occasionally have stuff that needs a biosensor. And you aren't there feeling like an idiot because you can't lock onto the thing. Like, nope, don't need to lock on. I've got a big old pocket full of rockets. And they ask you, is that a pocket full of rockets? Are you happy to see them? And you just tell them no. It is just rockets. Just a pocket full of rockets. Actually very unhappy to see you. Just kind of awkwardly show up. Make it difficult to lock onto you. Not nice as pets. And all acidic and gigantic, and kind of makes you wonder who decided to make something like that in the first place. Why would you ever need something like that? I mean, they already have giant death machines that they can basically just go and buy off to go handle all of their problems, so why would they need giant acidic bugs? Now, the problem with this guy is even when he runs out of ammo, he's actually still pretty threatening with his blade. So, in case I end up losing this one, probably just gonna have to be a bit more aggressive next time around. Always surprises me that he usually loses to Clazen. Even though he's higher in the arena, for some reason he's just scared of this guy and ends up losing because he can't figure out how to shoot right. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of hit and run with this because his blade is way the crap faster than mine. Not to mention he's got that lock on for his. Now it can potentially one-shot me in this condition. There is the possibility that it'll only do half. But I don't exactly want to bet on it. I kind of need to get at least one stab off because I'm starting to run low on mines. Again with the almost. And once again with the almost, but if I'd stayed there, he would have stabbed me, so that wouldn't have been good. What a not frustrating at all weapon, too. Start chancing it. Help. Dang it. What I'm hoping for is that he'll just go to the wall and just decide to blade, and it's not working out. Unfortunately, I need to get a full salvo on him with each of these. Alright, well that's kind of down to the wire. I got him. Cut time.